said that, technology really does play a role in governance, and all of us have to really think about national governance like being CEOs of companies, and I think that would make a huge difference. I also think that there are two kinds of politicians. One kind who looks at just the politics of governance, and the other type of politician who really looks at governance despite the politics of being there. So, it's for us to decide who is best for the country, and I think the latter is the one who all of us really look forward to. It's my pleasure to request Mr. Mohammad Zubair to share his experience of privatization in Pakistan with us. Privatization, as we all know, is a multifaceted challenge to most countries. And in any developing country, it inherently demands consensus from a multitude of stakeholders with very strong opinions. Mr. Zubair is a former IBM CFO for Middle East and Africa. He served IBM for 26 years before he was appointed the chairman of Board of Investment of Pakistan in July 2013. In December 2013, he was inducted into the cabinet by Mr. Nawaz Sharif as Minister of State and with the charge of the Privatization Commission. We'd really enjoy listening to you, Mr. Zubair. Please take the dais.
Assalamu alaikum and namaste. I'll speak in a bit of Hindi, Urdu and English, if you pardon, because I was watching. I don't think so there's anyone who's a foreigner here, so please pardon, because that's the language that we all speak and we hear and so on and so forth. Thank you very much, AIMA, for inviting us, the entire delegation, Asfar, for ensuring that we come here. It's absolutely pleasure. And when I say this is not standard, typical, मेरी जो job है, that requires me to travel a lot. पिछले 2-2.5 महीने में, अगर मैं आपको बताऊं, from Boston to New York, London, Dubai, and Far East and so on and so forth, I have been traveling, Jeddah. But the delight of coming to India is far, far more than going to any other place. And this is with... And I can tell you that I was so busy that I have been coming and going out, that it was difficult to even share with the authorities there that I am going, because I have to share, I have to apply for leave, and the Prime Minister has to sign off. And every time it comes and he says, but this is not official. I said it's more than official. Because from a long-term basis, I think coming to India and trying to develop some kind of relationship or removing some kind of barriers, even though, obviously, as we know the history of India-Pakistan relations, 1 step forward and 2 steps backwards. But if I have an opportunity, I think I'll come every time. And I'll invite all of you to come to Pakistan every time and see for yourselves कि पाकिस्तान इतना बुरा नहीं है जितना यहाँ से बैठ के महसूस होता है. ठीक, बिल्कुल आप जैसे लोग हैं, अच्छा चाहते हैं इंडिया के साथ, खास तौर पर इंडिया के साथ. पिछले I don't know how many of you follow the politics of Pakistan, but इस वक्त एक वहाँ judicial commission बना है, and this judicial commission is to investigate what happened in the 2013 elections. And this is extremely important for us. And I am part of the political and media committee to handle that side of... and it was actually embarrassing telling that I am going to India. So you can imagine मैं वो छोड़ के, which is something so important for us. And ये मैं इसलिए नहीं कह रहा कि मैं कोई एहसान करूं. I actually enjoy coming to India. My wife is here. She's more than interested. In fact, she's here. सुबह आके हाजिरी दे के यहाँ से बंक करके शॉपिंग करके वापस भी आ गए. All the ladies, not just my wife, sorry. All the ladies from Pakistan, because this is a great opportunity, because ख्वातीन के लिए तो जाहिर सी बात है shopping is most important. India हम क्यों आते हैं? एक तो जाहिर सी बात है share करने के लिए experiences. India has been doing so well in the last several years, over the last 20 years or so. Economic growth has been very, very good. So every time you come here, the quality of professionals is outstanding. We were at the PwC office this morning, and I tell you, I mean, sharing their thoughts and meeting people, professional people, it's something that we want to learn. And that is why we say that the dialogue process must continue. And this is something that I always urge my Indian friends, that no matter what the past is, because as you go in the past, चाहे वो family की relationship का past हो, या company का हो, या country के level का हो, and there is something from Europe to be learned till 19 that matter, France and Germany and so on. But yet, obviously there was a sense of maturity, कि rather than discussing कि Second World War में किसका ज़्यादा कसूर था, Hitler only reacted or whatever happened, the thing is that you move forward. You also recognize कि हिकअप्स भी आएंगे, ऐसा भी होगा कि कुछ लोग उसको ख़राब करने की कोशिश भी करेंगे, बट अगर आप मैक्रो बेसिस पर देखें, मैक्रो बेसिस पर आप हमेशा देखते हैं, और मैक्रो बेसिस पर अगर आप देखेंगे तो यू विल फाइंड, एंड आई से दिस अगेन एंड फॉर दोज हु आर प्रेजेंट हियर, ऑब्वियसली यहाँ गवर्नमेंट का मेरा नहीं ख्याल है कोई नुमाइंदा है, बट ऑल ऑफ अस हैव अ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू कंट्रीब्यूट. अगर मैं ये कहता हूँ, अगर आप नवाज शरीफ द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ पाकिस्तान से डील नहीं कर सकते तो फिर कभी अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं आएगी डील करने की. ये मैं आपको वाक़तन कहता हूँ. I would not say he's pro-India, but he's someone who just doesn't want, even in internal meetings, just doesn't want to discuss anyone who's bashing India, just doesn't want to discuss. कुछ पॉलिटिक्स होती है जो इधर के भी पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स और उधर के भी पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स और दुनिया भर के पॉलिटिकल कुछ स्टेटमेंट्स देनी पड़ती हैं अपने पॉलिटिकल कंजम्पशन के लिए, अपने मदाहों के लिए, कि when there is a moment, when there is tension between India and Pakistan and everyone is trying to listen to the Pakistani Prime Minister कि how much he bashes India. But everyone understands here also, and when we hear some of the statements coming from Indian leaders, we understand from where they are coming. So उसको इग्नोर करके हम चलना चाहते हैं. और मेरा ख्याल है अब वक्त आ गया है, as India embarks on its objective to become a global economic power, I think it will not achieve its global ambitions if it's not dealing with Pakistan. And like I say, if Pakistan wants to go on a sustainable economic growth, Pakistan will not achieve its economic ambitions if it's not dealing with India. There's no country in the world which can progress without doing trade with its neighbor. It's as simple as that. So Pakistan also on the same reform agenda, जैसे इंडिया है. हम छोटे हैं, बहुत छोटे हैं, लेकिन दुनिया की नज़र में हम फिर भी बहुत बड़े हैं. 190 million population is huge. It provides great opportunities for investment. It provides great opportunities for doing business. पाकिस्तान में जो दो मेजर हिकअप्स थे, दो मेजर चैलेंजेस थे, जिसकी वजह से पाकिस्तान की इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ स्टेफल हुई हुई थी पिछले 10-12 साल से, एक मिलिटेंसी का इशू और दूसरा एनर्जी सेक्टर का. मिलिटेंसी का इशू, for the first time since 9/11, because this is the consequence of 9/11, whether we made mistake or whatever, but this was part of a global agenda, जिसकी वजह से we had to become a frontline state. And as a result, we had to pay a price, not just in the economic terms. A social fabric got destroyed in the process. And I think there are very few countries in the world which appreciate Pakistan's going through this process from a normal liberal society to becoming an extremist society. So that is the kind of war, not just the military war, but on the social front that we are trying to fight to ensure, to restore what Pakistan used to be. And that is where we seek the help of India and an understanding, not just help, an understanding that what Pakistan has gone through. Pakistan might have been responsible for some acts, but 9/11 and its consequences, uske baad Pakhtun population udhar, Pakhtun population idhar, Taliban ki emergence, and so on and so forth, it becomes a very difficult, I mean, that's a separate subject. But that was one of the major impediments to economic growth in the last 10-12 years. And for the first time in the last 10-12 years, there's a government which has started a military operation, and that's not an easy thing. किसी भी मुल्क में अपने लोगों के खिलाफ military operation करना आसान नहीं होता. But that difficult decision, the Prime Minister took that decision, and I think with the passage of time, as you would already see, the impact of that, the frequency has gone down significantly, And I think in the months to come, in the years to come, Pakistan will come back to that normalcy. But in that, we seek the support of Indian businessmen, we seek the support of Indian government to help us come out of that. And that's not in the form of economic aid, just in the form of interaction, just in the form of the continuation of the dialogue process, nothing else that we are seeking. And I can assure you, there is no one in the government. And like I said, the government of Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, and even if you talk to any Pakistani, his bitterest critics would concede that he's more pro-India than any other politician they would remember in Pakistan's history. That is the kind of description that they would say, give about the Prime Minister. So take this opportunity and please, the other thing that I just, this morning, I mean, the kind of debate that I saw this morning, absolutely impressive. Or I don't know how many of you would like me to appreciate Mr. Sachin Pilot, but I saw a politician who is outstanding, who comes across so well. I could appreciate because I come from that background कि किस तरह से उनके लिए मुश्किलात होती हैं. But एक चीज़ मैं ज़रूर कहूँगा जो I disagree with Mr. Sachin Pilot, कि वो जब पुल की एग्जाम्पल दी गई और प्राइवेट सेक्टर की परफॉर्मेंस दी गई, there is absolutely no excuse that the government minister or former minister can stand here and say कि government में मुश्किल होता है, तो फिर आपको responsibility ही नहीं लेनी चाहिए. The reason that you are given that responsibility, if I am in the government, I take full responsibility to perform on a world-class basis, otherwise I should not be there. It's as simple as that. Because if I can't translate from what I've learned in one of the best companies in the world to do business in the government, that there's no use, I should come out. And that is what the demand of the people should be. कि ये जो कह के निकल जाना, क्योंकि systems भी तो government ने बनाए हैं, processes भी तो government ने बनाए हैं. अगर वो एक example दे रहे थे lowest price, but तो उसको change करें आप, जो भी तरीक़ेकार है change करने का. Because at the end of the day, the people of India, the people of Pakistan, or for that matter anywhere else, would demand the best from the government. और जितनी government के पास पैसा है या opportunities हैं या reach out करना है दुनिया के to the best, वो private sector के पास तो हैं भी नहीं. I understand that there are limitations, but that is what it is. The other thing that I will also ask you, the corporate world people, and that's what I do in Pakistan as well, क्योंकि हमें criticize करते हैं कि जी ये नहीं किया हुकूमत ने, ये नहीं किया, ये political parties इतनी ख़राब हैं, and so on and so forth. तो मैं हर एक को ये कहता हूँ कि आप आएँ, आप भी तो join करें ना. टेबल के उस साइड से बैठ के criticize करना तो बहुत आसान है. तो जिनको भी opportunity है, and I tell you, there is much more fun working in the government than in the corporate world. And it's much more challenging, and you feel much more passionate about the whole thing, because you suddenly realize, here is an opportunity, you are sitting here, here is an opportunity to deliver on a country-wide basis. और मेरा नहीं ख्याल है इससे अच्छी opportunity किसी को भी मिल सकती है. So जिसके पास भी मौका है, I don't know यहाँ कैसे political parties operate करती हैं, but मेरे लिए या दूसरे हमारे, और by the way मैं आपको ये भी बता दूँ, पाकिस्तान में बहुत से लोग हैं corporate sector के जो कि political parties का हिस्सा हैं. And this is something that the political parties themselves are encouraging, because as they realize that people are demanding solution, people are demanding performance, तो political parties के पास कोई choice नहीं है सिवाय इसके कि वो best को induct करें and give them the opportunity. So, and that is what is happening in Pakistan. I can share my own brother. If Imran Khan comes to power, which probably he will never, my brother will be the finance minister. He's the finance advisor to Imran Khan's party. And he had his career with the Exxon. So that is where he came from, and certainly now in politics, member of the parliament and contributing and so on and so forth, and then many others and so on. And I see this is a very positive thing, क्योंकि आप एक दूसरे को समझ उसी वक्त सकते हैं जब आपको दोनों sides का पता हो. So thank you very much again for inviting, and it's absolute delight. Asfar, thank you very much for arranging, and the entire Pakistani delegation, on behalf of them, I thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zubair. And again, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Pakistani delegation. And despite the excitement of shopping, which I think the women both from India going to Pakistan or Pakistan coming here, I know it's very enjoyable, but I think it's more as a show of friendship, and I hope it continues to grow. So thank you all, and a warm welcome for being there. It was fascinating, your journey on, how Pakistan is emerging and changing despite the many challenges they've been facing. And the challenges haven't been small or simple, but there definitely is a silver lining at the end of that cloud. Just before we have questions, I had one question for you, Mr. Zubair. If there was a joint venture which, as a company we could do between some big private company in India or in Pakistan, which area do you think would be exciting, which would make it politically appropriate and maybe make the project fly?
Hello? Yeah, okay. My first reaction would be several areas, in fact. Banking sector hai, fertilizer hai, consumer goods hai. Something that we can benefit from India. Consumer goods, information technology is definitely, software is something. And I can also share with you here when I was with IBM, so us waqt in information technology, there was this project that the headquarter wanted to assign to a third world country, and Pakistan and India were both competing. And there were several other countries, third world countries, that they were competing. And in the end, Pakistan and India jointly was given that task, and we delivered, and it was very well appreciated. So I would imagine in any area, the only thing is joint venture, that is a very good idea. And that is something that I can also start working and developing on that and see to it that it gets done. And this is something that the more difficult process would be getting the approval to get it done. I think the less difficult aspect would be a joint venture itself, and then the delivery aspect of it.
Mr. Zaidi, any comments on, how can both countries participate together for economic progress?
I think one of the area where we can actually, since I relate to accounting and finance, as Mr. Zubair was saying, we have got special expertise in the area for business, finance, and education. I think education is an area where we have many things in common. And we have not done a lot of reciprocal education transformation. Because at one time I was the president of South Asian Federation of Accountants, and I used to have an office in Delhi here. And we were talking about recognition of the qualification here in India and recognition of our qualification in Pakistan. And we always thought that it will be an asset for all of us. So I think one of the area where we can actually, and another field where I can think we can seriously think about is the medical services. People don't realize how much commonality we have in providing medical education and services in the region. And the health, education are other ventures where we have many things common and problems are common. The knowledge base is common. And the whole core issue is the common. So I have personal experience in accountancy profession and medical side, personal experiences. And I feel I am very comfortable, very, very comfortable dealing with, for just I will give you an example. You have got one heart transplant surgeon by the name of Mr. Mohammad Zubair. He is in Delhi, I think he's based in Delhi. And we are now talking with him to come and have training, give us training in liver transplant in Karachi, and then we will collaborate. Same is the case in accountancy profession. So the commonalities, there are many commonalities where we can deal with each other which are non-traditional. There are many things that are non-traditional. Education is the place where we can actually relate with each other. The publications, the books, And there are many, many things we can, and obviously we are the biggest buyer of your movies. We all see, I was very, me and Zubair Sahab was very astonished that we were having a dinner with some Indians, and all of our Pakistanis had seen the film PK, and Indian had not seen it. When he asked him, "You have seen film PK?" he said, "No." And all of Pakistanis who were sitting, we are 16 people, we have seen it and we enjoyed it. So there are many things. I'm not in a goods sector, but I think one of the sector we are actually not working is service sector. Service sector is a place where we can actually work.
Thank you. I think, and I'm glad you mentioned healthcare, otherwise I would have asked. So I know that there's a lot happening between both countries, including a program to have common protocols.
Yes.
As we're running out of time, 2 quick questions from the audience. Can we start from the right, please?
I have the mic, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead. All right, you got the mic. Please go ahead.
Janab Minister Sahab, Assalamu alaikum. Tusi cha gaye. I have 2 small questions. What else India needs to do to receive the most preferred nation to do business with? Question number 2. When and how can I take my wife in my car to Lahore for shopping?
दूसरे क्वेश्चन का जवाब मैं पहले देता हूँ. आप जैसे ही लाहौर क्रॉस करेंगे, दिस